Hi everybody. Today we are going to get started with making my latest design team project, which is a mini album using the fantastic Safari collection from Graphic45. This is a design team project for Country Craft Creations. I've already posted the flip through, and today we're going to get started. I have the just one of the collection is what I have to work with. So let's go ahead and get started. There is a cutting guide. It's linked down below. Go ahead and get that. And I'm going to show you how to make the pages. And I will have talked already about how this sort of came to be designed in the flip through. So go ahead and watch that if you haven't seen it yet. Excuse me, it's early in the morning. My allergies are acting up. Okay, so this is the page that we're going to make. It is 5x7 finished. Okay, I've already done one. We're going to make 3. So we need 3 page bases and 6 flaps. And again, just go ahead and get your cutting guide and you'll see that. So on each page base, you're going to score it, put it in your cutting board, in your scoreboard, score it at 5 inches and 10 inches. And that will leave you a 1/2 inch here, and go ahead and put tape there. Okay, this is super easy. And then I'm just going to trim my corners. Just like that. You don't have to trim your corners. I just like to. Well, stay there. Okay. And then fold this like this. Burnish it really well. And then you're going to fold this side over right on top of it like that, so you can see where this is going. Burnish it, and just make sure you line up your corners. And there you go. There's your page. All right. It looked like I didn't really burnish this one, so I'm just going to burnish that. Okay, so there's 2. We're making 3. Goodness, I seem to have all kinds of dust or something on my work surface here. Okay. Just picking it up to make sure that my corners are lining up, and they are. And there we go. So we have 3 pages. Okay. Now, what we're going to have on each page, put that aside, is a flap on the front and a flap on the back. One here and one here. Okay? So let's go ahead, and your flaps, you're going to put the 5.5 inch side on the top of your scoreboard, score it at a 1/2 inch, place your tape, and then fold and burnish. And trim the corners. Okay, I'm just checking that for fit. Okay, looks good. And these pages are really easy, and they're all going to be the same, as you will have seen. In this book, we're letting the paper be the star of the show. There we go. 1 flap. Okay, just like that. And turn it over. You want to make sure that both flaps are at the top. Whoops. Goodness, I almost did not fold that on the score line. Oh. Double checking, make sure I'm at the top. Just peeling back a little bit of the tape, lining up the corner. Well, but in theory. Go. And there we go. Alright, so now we have, this is where the spine is going to be. So this flips up, flips over, and flips up. Okay? And we're going to add a couple of other things, but that's the base. We need to make 3 of those. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other 2, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have finished that. And I wanted to give you a tip. If you have trouble lining everything up, and I guarantee you mine are probably not lined up absolutely 100% perfectly, but they're not bad. But if you do have trouble, one thing you could do, these are all cut 7 inches wide. You could cut all of these 7 1/4 inches wide. Go ahead, put them together exactly the same way, and then if you have a paper trimmer that's strong enough to cut through this many layers, and then you could trim 1/8 of an inch off either side, and then you could be assured that you have a perfect, everything's perfectly lined up. I'll be honest with you, I don't fuss about it that much. If they're off by a hair or a little bit, it doesn't bother me. Okay, so there's our pages. Set those aside, and now we need to, or at least I need to cut some more pieces. You may have already done so because you have your cutting guide. So I will be back in a few minutes, a few seconds for you. I'm going to cut some more pieces. Okay, I am back. Now I'm going to give you 2 options. On the front of the flap, there are going to be 2 pockets. It's actually a stacked pocket, which we do a lot. I like them. I think they look nice, and that's what we're doing here. And I'm going to give you 2 options you'll see in the cutting guide. There's an option 1 and an option 2. And I'll explain why as we go along. You can choose which one you like. Option 1 has you cut 3 pieces 6 by 6. You're going to put them in your scoreboard, one of the 6-inch sides, score it a 1/2 inch, rotate all the way, score it a 1/2 inch. So you have 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, or you can do a 1/2 and 5 1/2 if you're more comfortable. Rotate it 90 degrees and score at 2 1/2 inches. Okay, so that is your piece for option 1. And let me show you what you're going to do with that. Set this aside. Okay. So now you have this score mark here. You want to fold up on that score mark. Just like that. While it's folded, you want to trim your corners. Right here. On the fold. The fold is right here. You want to just trim a little bit off the corner up to the score mark. So you end up with something that looks like this. Okay? So it's going to go like that. Now, here's where things get a little bit tricky. So it's opened up. Here's the fold. You want to take and tape. Oops, I forgot to trim one of the corners. Trim all the corners. So go ahead and trim these corners as well. You can trim these after you tape, I guess, but I'm doing it before. There we go. Okay, so now you can see it folds like this. And we want to tape here. Don't tape here. Just tape the 2 shorter ones. Okay. All right, then turn it over and tape the longer ones. So you're taping these on opposite sides. This will make more sense in a minute. It's just a double pocket, it's just a stacked pocket, whatever you want to call it. It's just another way of doing it. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so that's that. And what's going to happen is you fold in your sides, just on the short ones. This is going to fold up and adhere like that. And these are going to fold back this way. And attach to the flap, like so. Okay, so that's one way of doing this pocket. Sorry, it's early in the morning and my allergies are terrible. Now we also have the option of adding a little gusset here to add some volume when we add this on, and I will show you how to do that when we get to it. Now, if that just seems like more trouble than it's worth, or you're confused by it, or you just don't like it, your other option is to cut two separate pockets. And this one is 6 by 4. This one is 6 by 3. Score on 3 sides, short sides, the 2 short sides and a long side for both of these. Trim out your corners, stack this pocket on top of this pocket, and then attach it into the book, which is how we've done countless numbers of them. But if you're more comfortable with this, do it this way. Okay, so now let's get back to this one. Now this could be added directly like this, and just add a little bit of glue here, and you're done. I think I want a little more volume though, so I'm going to go ahead and make a gusset. We've done this before also, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab a piece. I can even eyeball this. I just need a piece that's about 1 inch wide by a hair shorter than this pocket assembly. Alright. This will never be seen. You don't need to fuss over it. I'm going to score it in half, like so. I'm just going to go ahead and tape it while I've got it handy. So you can see what I've got. It's just a 1 inch piece, scored down the middle, tape on both sides. Just like that. Trim. If you've done one of my folded page books like the last one we did, which was Farmhouse Market, we made a lot of these little gussets. Okay. Or I don't know if we made a lot, but we made at least one. Okay. All right, so that is going to go here, and it's going to give us the fold that is otherwise missing to give us some volume in this pocket. This is not required. You could just glue this straight down if you wanted to without doing this, but I like the volume this gives. So hang on, I'm pulling this up where I can see it. Now when you're lining this up, if you have trouble lining it up, you're better to be a little in than out. You don't want it sticking out. It's no problem if it's a little bit in, but you don't want it a little bit out. Okay, here we go. Okay, so there we have our pocket assembly. Let's pull one of our pages over. This is going to go right on the front, on the left, like so. Okay, this would fit. And I am just lifting up the corner. Pulling that out of the way. And lining that up. Looks good. kind of have opposite corners down. There we go. That probably should have taped these down first, but it's not that, doesn't really matter. And like that. Okay, so now we have a flap with stacked pockets. Okay? Oh, and you are going to do the same on all 3 of your pieces. Let me get that done, and I will be back. Okay, I am back. And so we did this, and I want to warn you because I did one of mine wrong. When you're putting the gusset that we just did, please make sure you're putting it at the base of the pockets. I put one at the top and had my pockets facing the wrong way, so I had to redo it. But I've cut all the rest of the pieces, and let me tell you, there's a cutting guide, so you've probably already got your pieces, but just in case. Let's see, we have a belly band that is 1.5 by 8. We have a shallow pocket that's 8 by 2.5. We have an inside side pocket that's 3.5 by 6. We have a deep pocket that's 8 by 4.5. And we have triangle pocket. This is cut from a 5 by 5 square, cut in half diagonally. You'll have an extra triangle left over, but that's because you only need 3. So that is that. All right, so here's our page that we made. Here's the side pockets, stacked pockets that we put. And the belly band is going to go here. So let me grab that. And I'm testing. It's hard to test fit with black. And I'm grabbing a ruler. Hang on. I just eyeball where I'm going to put my belly bands, but because all these pages are identical to one another, I want to make sure they're at least close, like each one is pretty close to where the other ones are. So I am just folding and burnishing. Okay, so where I'm going to put this is 1 inch. Okay, so here's the front. Here's the fold. I'm going to put it 1 inch up from that fold approximately, and I'm just using this ruler, which is 1 inch wide, to give me a good guesstimate of where it's going to go. And again, I'm not being super fussy about it, but I want it generally in that spot. Right, so I'm going to turn this. So I'm just trying to turn it so I have good light with this black on black. That was not even close. Keeps wanting to slide on me. Oh. Okay. I have it down. Good. Picked it up because I had it a little crooked. All right. There we go. Okay, so there is that. Now, all right, so here we have our side pocket. Here's our belly band. We're going to do our shallow pocket right here. Trim this. And please don't use your good scissors to do that where there's adhesive. I actually have a good pair of these that I just got. But that said, if your scissors do get goopy, you can use your undo to clean them. fit. Looks good. I'm just, in case you can't see what I'm doing, I forgot to tell you. I just lifted the back of the tape off the two side pieces and then laid the bottom one on top because it's easier to get things in and out of the pocket if you put this piece on top of these two pieces. Okay, and that's going to go there. Just going to give it a good burnish, make sure it's nice and flat. I like to use this Teflon folder. It's a little softer than a plastic folder, and I find it doesn't bruise the paper the way the really sharp-edged plastic ones do. Those are great for scoring, but for burnishing, I like that one. Okay, there we go. There's our shallow pocket. All right, so we have that, and then we have shallow pocket and a belly band. Now we're going to flip it over. We're going to leave this plain. It's going to open up, and on this side, we're going to have that deep pocket, that little, not the deep pocket, but the small deep pocket. It's going to go here. Okay, now, let me show you something, just so you're, okay, so here is the front of this page assembly, right? And here's the spine, and here are the pockets. Okay, so it's gonna turn up this way and over. So here's the inside that we're just talking about, okay? If the pocket was here, things would fall out, okay? So that's why the pocket's going here. That's something to pay attention to when you're, if you're deciding, designing your own albums or just want to make adjustments to another design. Take into account how things are going to go. Like if you had a pocket up here, everything would fall out that way, right? So you kind of have to play with it a little bit, or at least think about it. Now, that doesn't mean you can't do it. You can, because you could use some sort of mechanical device. I'm just trimming out my corners, like a band or a belt or something like that, to hold things in the pocket. Or if it's a belly band, you can use a little stop, or you can just make sure you make enough stuff to go in it that it's tight enough that things won't fall out. But it's just something to take into account. Okay. And I'm just going to check this for fit. Looks good. And this is what I was just talking about, where I've got those two to the inside and this one to the outside. Right. My nails are a mess, but so's everybody else's, I guess, at this point, unless you're clever and do your own. I had yellow on. You could see the yellow stain that I had on those two nails. But I am not worried about it. It's the least of my worries. Okay. Alright, so I hope you're all able to keep busy with your crafting if you're home, if you're lucky enough to be home, if you're out working. For the rest of us, thank you. I am working, but I'm working from home. And if you're watching this down the line, I hope everything's back to normal or better. Okay. There we go. So there's that. Okay, now the last thing that we're going to do is out of the way. I don't have my trash can. I have to get that. Okay. All right, so down here is going to be a deep pocket with a triangle pocket on top of it. Now, if you want, with this pocket, you can put a notch if you want. I don't like, well, it depends on the paper, but I really don't want to disrupt my mats with that notch thing. I just think you've got plenty of room. There's going to be an inch clearance between the top of the pocket and the fold. You should be able to reach in and get whatever's in the pocket out. But if you prefer, put the notch. Okay, so as with, I don't think I mentioned, but the scoring is in the cutting guide, but they're scored on both short sides and one long side. And so first thing I'm going to do, whoops, I didn't trim it. First thing I'm going to do is trim it. While I'm at it, I'm going to do a little triangle. Okay. All right, so back to this. So same thing. Two side ones in. And now would be the time to cut your notch if you're going to do a notch. Okay, here's that. Here's the bottom of the pocket, here's the top. This is going to go here. Make sure that I've trimmed my top and my little notches. Sometimes with these triangles you'll have a little, I don't know, like a little burr showing. You want to make sure you trim that off. Okay. And then we're going to have some magnets to add. And I am getting low on magnets, but I think I have enough. I've got an order in, but it hasn't come yet. I need to do a cardstock inventory too, because I've used quite a bit in the last month or so. I think I need to order some of my basic colors that I like. And the ones that I like to keep on hand always are black craft, white linen, burgundy, green, and navy. And then I also like to have, if I can, the baby blue, which I like a lot, and brown, and the like Christmassy red color. Those are, that's most of the colors, to be perfectly honest, but I like to have, especially though, craft, black, navy, and linen are the ones I particularly use the most, probably. Although I use the green a lot too. Okay, so here's our pocket assembly. Alright, so here is the plain page. Flips up, it's got the side pocket, and then this is going to go down here. What's up, Paw Girl? That's my other cat has just shown up. Give her a pet. What's up, sweetie? Your head's hot. Were you sitting in the sun? Yeah? Were you sitting in the sun? No, 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 no. Don't chew that. She's a real chewer, and she goes after like wires and things. Okay. There it go. Okay. All right. She heard something in the other room. She's distracted now. Okay. Here. Go. Okay, so that is the full page assembly, okay? Now, I've already made the other two, and I want to show you where the magnets are going to go. Alright, so here's the front with the double pocket. So you want to put one magnet right in the middle of this shallow pocket here, and matching magnet up there. There's 2 sets of magnets, so 4 in each, so you need a total of 12. And then when you flip it over, I want to show you this one in particular. I have this magnet here in the triangle, and up here on the pocket. And the reason I have it that way is we have a pocket here, we have this triangle pocket here, we have a pocket here. We're going to put things in all those pockets, plus our mats. If I put it here, there is not a chance that a magnet here and a magnet here are going to stick through all those layers of things. So by putting it over here, it makes it stick better. Now you're going to have, it's going to lift a little over here, but that's a small price to pay because otherwise it just wouldn't work at all. Okay, so I might as well go ahead and do those. If I have enough magnets, I do. I only need 4. No, how many do I need? I need 8, and I don't think I have 8. If you have enough magnets, go ahead and do this one. I'll be doing mine later. Alright, so that is all the assembly for our pages. And you can see it's quite chunky, so even though we only made 3 pages, it'll still be a good sized book. Alright, I will see you next time, and we will get going with all of the matting, which will be fun because this paper is so pretty. This is a design team project for Country Craft Creations. We are using a beautiful Safari collection from Graphic45, as well as black artisan cardstock, and we will probably use a few other colors, but they'll be optional for you. So, I guess that is it. I will see you next time. Again, you can get all your supplies at Country Craft Creations, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. They really help the channel, and I do appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.